Hey everyone, how's it going? It's Patty. Of course, how you doing? I'm doing good. I just been going through Summer Wells videos like I always do. And, I always have a million questions. And it just never seems to stop. And it never seems to stop bothering my mind. And I don't know why, but anyways, you guys, there's something that really bugs me. I mean, like at first, I want to talk about Fred Hill tonight. And if there's any new subscribers to my channel, thank you for being here. Thank you to everyone who watches my channel, whether you have subscribed or not. I appreciate you. And I thank you for, your time. And I appreciate your great comments and all the kind things you guys say all the time. And anyways, when Summer Wells, who is a 5-year-old, she was 5 when she went missing, out of Rogersville, Tennessee. If you have any information regarding Summer Wells, please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. We need to find this little girl. And if you have any information and you're watching this video, I try to put Summer's name in almost every single one of my videos. Not for clicks and views, but yes, for views. Because I want to get her name out there and I want to get the information out there. And I'm not monetized on this channel. I don't receive any money. I don't want any money or any donations. If you want to send a donation, send it to like EquiSearch or one of these missing person groups that really do good work for children, okay? But anyways, I just want to say that ever since I've been following Summer Wells' case, I have never really suspected Fred Hill. So hear me out. And I do want to know your opinions. And I want you to think about this with an open mind. I just want you to hear me out. Okay? I never suspected Fred Hill from the beginning that he would have any involvement with the Summer Wells case. But as he continues to come out and lie and put out story after story after story, you guys, he reminds me so much of Jody Sue Brown, that here is a person who is not a family member, who is just a neighbor, who wants to be so involved in this case, and it makes him look very suspicious. Think about him saying that Summer's scent was all the way up on his property. Think about when Fred Hill said that a book bag with meth stuff in it, Summer's bag, her stuff, was on his property, and him saying, or his sister saying, that Fred, that she knew or whatever, that Summer's clothes were in Fred's washing machine outside. A broken down washing machine, okay? Now, I want you to think about this for a minute, and I'm sure many of you might have seen this already, okay? This is from Skyline News, and this guy came out, and we all thought, well, what is he? Is he just like a fraud reporter, or is he just like giving us false hope or false information? Because when he gave this announcement, this guy's name is Chad Nesbitt, and he's from Sky News. But, when he first came out, I'm thinking, who is this witness that's seen and heard these things? And this is crazy. But so when Summer first went missing, I want you to think about this. And all credit goes to Kari Moody. She took this from Ziggy's channel, I believe she said in here. And Kari Moody put this out a couple months ago, and you might have seen it. It's from her video, Fred Hill's Earliest Stories, Toyota Truck, and Polygraphs in Summer. But yes, I wanted to finish what I wanted to say about Summer Wells. The reason that I put her name in my title is that I am always hoping that by saying her name and spreading awareness, that somebody out there is gonna see my video and they're gonna say, oh, I know, I heard about that case, or oh, I know some info, or oh, wow, I should call TBI about this. You know, that they remembered they seen something or heard something. You never know, you guys. That's why it's very important to keep missing kids' names out there. Sebastian Rogers, he's a 15-year-old. He's missing out of Hendersonville, Tennessee. He's been missing for a few months now, and no sign of him. And I just ask if anybody out there knows anything about Sebastian Rogers, a 15-year-old teen who has autism. Please call 1-800-TBI-FIND. Okay, so that's all I was going to say, is that I think it's important to keep these kids' names out there. So anyways, under fair use and copyright laws, I want to discuss this video because I was searching the whole internet and couldn't find it. And so I'm going to have to stop it here and there because I don't want Kari to get mad at me or strike me. I'm only using this for discussion purposes only. Like I said, I'm not monetized, so if you want to watch some really great videos, you need to subscribe to Kari Moody. She does a great job on all of her videos, so subscribe to her too, please. But anyways, I want you to listen to this interview. We're going to stop it here and there because I don't want to, I'm not trying to take her video, but I think this is really important. And this really bothered me tonight. And it even gives me the chills. There's something weird. Really weird about Fred Hill. So we're going to listen to this. And then I will stop it here and there and talk to you. So hold on. Let's see. I hope it's loud enough. Let's go.
He is going on television about it, and nobody is speaking to have it recorded into a press book. And it's because of all the meth that's going around down there. It is so bad. There's some mean people down there in that area. And so anyway, we had the opportunity to meet a young man. And I've got a message for that young man at the end of this here, and I'll share it with you. But that young man had a story to tell, and he told me right out there in his driveway after we were told to go see this person. And let me remind you, you've been looking for a red Toyota truck Tacoma with a ladder rack in the back of it, right? With some ladders in the back of it. We were told to go see this person, and we spoke with this person. And this person said that we should go to the horse pond. And he said that he spoke with Don Wells, which is the father of Summer Wells, approximately 3 hours is what he said, after she was gone missing. And that Mr.
Okay, first of all, that's a lie. We know he didn't speak to him for 3 hours when Summer went missing. Okay? We know that he did go down there and talk to him looking for Summer. But, no. He wasn't down there for no 3 hours. But when this first came out, you guys, I did not know that he was talking about Fred Hill. That is who he's talking about. Okay, let's continue on.
Wells had concerns about his daughter, but he talked about a book and talked about a sacrifice. Okay, a sacrifice. That's what this man told me. So this is firsthand. He says he spoke with him directly 3 hours. Then he tells me as a reporter, and I say this as a reporter because that's important here in just a minute. So he goes on and says, you need to go check out the horse pond. And I said, where is the horse pond? He says, it's at Warrior Path. And that is kind of like a state park kind of thing where families go, they go horseback riding, they go in the lake out there and ride around and swim and so forth like this. But there is a certain area where a lot of families go that is a campsite area. And then there's another area that is a horse area, but other families go there to swim occasionally, okay? But he says that, this is what he said. I'm just telling you what he said, and we'll put this in print. But the man says that he was led to believe, okay, that this is what he thinks has happened, that, I have to be careful how I word this, that this is what he said. And I'm reporting you what he said. He said that Summer Wells drowned at that horse pond. And when she drowned at that horse pond, the mother was upset about it and freaked out. And apparently it was an accident, okay? And in that accident, they brought the body home. Apparently nobody wanted to know anything was going on. That's what I got. And I asked that man that. Is that what you're saying? Nobody wanted to know? They didn't want anybody to know what was going on? He said yes. So he goes on and he says, I would go check the last construction site that Mr. Wells worked at. And I said, okay, do you know where it is? He says, no. And I said, okay. And he was very adamant about it. He said, no, just no. And that was it. And so I'm going to show you a little bit of a video that we can.
Okay. It's really weird. If you don't think this is weird, I think it's very weird that a neighbor in Summer Wells' case, a little girl's missing, and he tells this news reporter right within like a day or two of Summer going missing, talking about a book, talking about a sacrifice, okay? And then he goes on to say that she drowned at the horse pond. But we're going to continue on because I have some other things to say, but we're going to wait here.
I changed around here, and then I'm going to have a message for somebody here. And I think this might work out because the person that I spoke with, to my understanding, has a record. This person has warrants out for their arrest. This person is a felon. This person
Fred
has
Hill.
some meth. This person doesn't look like they're on meth, but they might have sold meth. You see what I'm saying? And there are warrants out for this particular person. So I'll have a message for that person here in just a minute. But I'm going to show you, anyway, I'm going to show you the video. I want you to pay close attention. All you internet sleuths out there, see if you see anything out of the ordinary. God knows we've looked at it 1,000 times. And this is a day's worth of stuff that we've just kind of condensed into 2.5 minutes here because we're time constrained. But anyway, I'm going to show it to you. You take a look at it, and we're going to talk about it afterwards, okay? So here we go. It's just down the street. And to me, it looked sort of abandoned. But I thought it was strange because you got this everything's old.
I have no idea because I never did all the research like some of these people have done, okay? This is down across the road, just right by Fred Hill's. I don't know if Fred Hill's family owns this, Andy's family owns it, I don't know. But it is a very creepy, strange place. And remember, we seen this house in that other video when we went, it was just a few videos ago where we were taken on a ride down there. And, you know, like the spirit was leading or whatever, but it was really strange, okay? But let's just go on with this video.
All around there, but see that blue flag out there? It looks brand hammer new. And it had a little kids thing on the end of it. And if you look in the window, that's a mannequin. A mannequin is there. Let me see if I can pull it up. There it is. I don't know. It's just kind of strange.
It's very creepy.
Don't know. It's just kind of strange. We're just racking our brain. There's no trespassing signs up there, so we did not go on the property. The other area is this one. It is between
This is
house I
Fred's.
just showed you and the Wells home. See that yellow truck out there? That's an old Toyota Tundra or Tacoma. That's what that is. And if you look up in the
Did it get painted?
up here, there's a ladder rack up there at the top, and you see that big long ladder that's in the tree. So, and we're just kind of trying to speculate here on this one here. And I told you what this individual has said to us. This is what he said after speaking with the father 3 hours after she was passed away, or not passed away, but missing. So I don't know. It's a strange thing, but so here's my deal. I want to make somebody a deal, and I think there's two of you out there. I think there's two of you out there that have felonies. I think that you have warrants for your arrest. I think that you know a little more than what everybody else knows, and I think that you could point us and law enforcement in the right direction of exactly where Little Summer Wells is. Exactly. So here's my deal to you. As a reporter, I will not tell any of my sources.
Okay, now he's just going to go ahead and he's going to talk about if Fred Hill and somebody else, I don't know why he feels there's another person, comes forward and that there's a $75,000 reward. That was back then. That was a couple years when Summer first went missing. That he would give him, you know, share that reward or whatever, give him that reward. But the thing that bothers me the most, you guys, is I want to know why Fred Hill wants to be so involved. They say that people who want to be this involved, like want to be a part of this, usually have some kind of know what happened or did something. You don't even know how many times I've heard of searchers, people going to help others search and all this stuff, okay? So I'm just, it just really concerns me that he, that he wants to talk about. I mean, he's had so many stories, right, you guys? Like he's trying to lead everybody in a different direction, okay? And I find it weird, that's all. But I'm going to let you listen to something else here. Okay, this was from Ms.Christine, 555 or 55555, whatever. This is a girl that hangs out at Crazy Crime Critters on the farm. Miss Daisy's channel. But, and she did this quite a while ago. I think it's been a year at least. But anyways, I think this is interesting what Don had to say, because people say, well, look at Don, don't blame anybody, or Don, don't say anything. Yes, he did. And I just want you to listen to this. Just hear me out for a minute.
I don't know if I believe that's
Under fair use and copyright laws, I'm just going to use a portion of this for discussion purposes only. Like I said, I'm not monetized or trying to get anything. This is not for anything other than discussion purposes only. And I'm going to stop it here and there and talk. But I would like you to listen to this for a minute.
He probably ripped somebody off, is what it is. Fred Hill used to roam around. I'd get up, like if I got up at 2 o'clock in the morning or something and looking around, he'd be out on somebody's horse with a flashlight, riding around for who knows what reason. All night long.
And this is weird.
I caught him.
This is weird too, because Don's not the only one who said that. The other neighbor said that he would wander around and he was strange.
One time I went to talk to him, and I talked to him several times because I thought he has to know something. I caught him on other people's property, taking stuff from other people's property.
Oh, that's what he's doing on the horse thing with the flashlight.
Well, he has a golf cart. And he was on a golf cart and taking people's stuff from other people's property. I never said nothing till this point.
Yeah. But, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't want him to be lying and just trying to get out of jail or trying to work some kind of deal or something. That ain't cool at all.
Well, he already worked his deal.
Day one.
But I don't trust him either, though. I don't.
I've been up to his house several times trying to get answers, and he started talking about meth monkeys out in the woods and everything else, stirring me off in the wrong direction. I mean, all kinds of wild stories he tell me, and I just leave there.
Another one. How do we know he's not even making this? Dead men tell no tales, right?
Exactly. He's just trying to get notoriety, money on his books. That's all he cares about.
And I thought it was convenient when I found out that old Cotton was dead.
Exactly. He's going to blame it on a dead man. Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
Sometimes people will do things to get the look off themselves. Blame it on a dead person. That's a good way to go about it.
Well, I'll guarantee you the detectives are trying to talk to him, but he keeps talking him way out in left field somewhere. And that's why I want to beat his ass so bad. Because he could be the person responsible for Summer's disappearance.
And he could be. And he very well could be. If it's true that Don was not there, and if it's true that Candace, her story is true, which I have a hard time with it. But it doesn't mean that Candace was not paying attention and something didn't happen, okay? So it just bothers me. The police were looking at TBI, was trying to talk to him. And you know what's really strange about Fred Hill is that he's already admitted that they've been asking him, coming in, talking to him. I think they suspect Fred Hill. I really do. And I think they're trying to get some stuff on him. But now they've offered him some kind of plea or whatever to get out to snitch, because he should not be out of jail for this crap. But anyway, Ziggy's helping him. She's his new wife and whatever. But the thing is that he's very suspicious now to me than he ever has been. But listen to this.
Because he got meth heads going in and out of our road, day and night, all day long, all night long, and he could be the person responsible for Summer's disappearance. And he wants to sit there and talk crazy? The boy needs his ass beat.
Yeah, he probably gonna get that.
He needs it.
I want you to pay attention to this screen because Chad Arnold was Fred's best friend and he was arrested for meth. Jason Arnold, his brother, whatever, was found dead, OD'd. Dustin Dale Arnold, arrested for meth. Roy Len Cotton Simpson, drug arrests, and who Fred Hill said hid Summer's body by a waterfall. Roy passed. And then Gary Simpson, Carly Trent's uncle, Marlene, Fred, Beth Crawford, friend of Summers in the photo, Journey's mom, all these people were like arrested. Ricky Crawford Sr. passed. He was arrested for meth. Ricky Crawford's girlfriend, all these people were down there. Every one of them. Every single one of them. And if anyone had a beef with Don and Candace, anybody could have took Summer Wells. But let's just finish listening to this. I thought that was really interesting that she put that up there.
Eventually, you don't get that.
He's looking at probably a decade in the pen, so
Yeah, he's
Well,
he wants to get his fair
he
share.
wants to play games after my daughter's disappearance.
That's what's so bad about it.
Yeah, exactly. When the police was up there at my house, I says, "You're not going to go knock on Fred Hill's door or some of these meth heads around here?" I says, "Then let me the fuck out of the way, and I'll go do it myself." And they says, "Well, we can't stop you, Mr. Wells. You're a free man." I said, "Yeah, that's right." And I went over there and I drove to his house, and I about kicked the fucking door in. And he's like, yeah. Well, I see some meth heads up there on the ridge, blah, 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 and talking all kinds of crazy. Yeah.
That seems awful suspicious to me.
Cannot get a straight answer out of him for nothing. And here he is playing games again on Ziggy's Live and everything else. Cannot get a straight answer out of him.
Reggie's right. He is also detoxing at this time when he was there rattling off. So
He's a everyday user. He shoots that crap in his arm.
Yeah, and it's
so he's
taken a
probably
minute
been
for his
sick
head to
for the
get
last
straight.
week. Yeah, for the last 2 weeks. he's
I
been sicker
I
than-
felt sorry for him, and I give him a black truck. I says, "You haul that stuff off, whatever, because I didn't want to clutter up my driveway." He hauled that
right,
stuff off. I
Dad.
says, "The motor's good. It's a brand new motor, Ford 30,000 over. And all we need to do is put a harmonic balancer in it." But he hauled it straight to the junkyard for meth. I think it was, oh man, I don't know.
And honestly, the best place he could be is jail because,
Absolutely, I agree with you 100% on that.
I mean,
Yep. That's right.
at least they'll
That's
keep
right.
on that crap for his head to get right, and maybe he might have an answer to something. And then they can give him a lie detector test, and then maybe they'll get somewhere.
Yeah, I agree with you. There was a lot of traffic coming in and out of our hauler because of Fred Hill. He needs to own up to this shit. That fucking asshole needs to own up that
And
he's
you know
the
what else?
fucking reason that all that traffic was coming in and out of our hauler. And I want to beat his ass so bad and make him realize this.
Yeah, I don't blame you. And another thing is him having that horse, and I was wondering, like, if somebody if they could have lured Summer to the road with a horse or with an animal, because the dog, they traced her footprints and her smell.
Well,
her scent.
I'll promise you that Summer would never leave our property, but there's the possibility that someone could have lured her, like you just
There's a
said.
little kid that's 5 years old.
Right,
You don't know.
right.
I mean,
That's
you look
right.
something that they love, like a horse or a puppy or a
That's
kid.
right.
You don't know.
Yes, that's right. That's a possibility. I don't think she would ever leave her from around her house unless she was lured, like you said.
Because have you ever watched them shows that they do? Because they'll
Yeah.
the parents they'll go,
Yeah.
"You think your kid wouldn't talk to a stranger?" And every
That's
one of them,
right.
every time they do it,
Absolutely.
You know, people like that, they're so manipulative, they know what they're doing, and they plan it ahead of time.
Exactly. You're absolutely right. Yes,
They
ma'am.
sit and wait and watch, and, I said from the beginning, I said, it's got to be somebody close by there.
Yeah.
And I think, because they're sitting watching and waiting for the right second, just the right second.
I agree. But there's one thing we got to stick with. There are two things we got to stick with. The boys are the last one that seen her go down in the basement. And number two, the dogs, the police dogs, followed her scent, not down the driveway, but down the dog trail, and it dead ended on the road.
Okay.
Well, that's Don's opinion, and I'm not going to go any further in this, but I just want to say, you guys, that I think it's really suspicious that the way Fred's acting, that he wants to make up all these stories and lead people on these wild goose chases. And just like she said, usually people that are doing that are trying to get you to look the other way and not at them. You know what I mean? And isn't it strange? I didn't know that Fred liked to ride horses too with Frank Light. And you know what's strange is that that they were talking about, Don was saying how Fred liked to ride a horse at night. And he also had a golf cart, which is strange. But anyways, what, you remember that runaway horse in that first news conference? And that was so weird, right? That gave me chills. To me, that felt like it was the sign, this runaway horse, that a horse had something to do with this. And so it's just really strange hearing that. And, I find it really weird that Jody Sue, she's just so strange with her stuff and the things she does. And also, but really, Fred Hill. Another thing, I want you to think about Fred Hill. Just, when I keep thinking about the clothes that his sister said was in the washing machine of Summer Wells, and he said, Somerset went all the way up my property. And he said there was a shed back there, and they never even searched it. They didn't unlock it and go in it. And it's just really strange. And I think that sometimes Fred does this stupid, crazy, he puts on an act to seem stupid, but he's really not that stupid. And how do we not know that Fred's not involved and responsible for all these people that, like Jason Arnold was found dead, he was OD'd. Roy Cotton was selling meth and stoned on meth, and he supposedly fell to his death. But, Fred wanted to blame Summer's disappearance on him. All these people that were hanging around Fred's house and on Ben Hill Road were obviously getting meth from Fred. And we know that there was a lot of traffic going in and out because Fred lived on that dead end. And, it just makes me suspect him even more. And there's this really interesting, I think it was on, Killer Looks. I seen this video they just put out, and they had a police report, a record or a news article or something about Dudley Ajon, the guy that worked with Don. His uncle was arrested for kidnapping and other stuff, so because people owed him money, and this is Dudley's uncle, and Don owed Dudley money, And it makes you wonder if he, collected on his dues, but not with Candace and Grandis there. That's what makes me feel like that Candace left, and she left Summer alone. And I feel like somebody took her and, look at this mess. This little brat is over here. This was just like, it took him 2 seconds to tear apart this little orange toy. He likes to destroy everything that I get him for toys. And he's happy until he does. He's a stinker, I'm going to tell you. But, yeah, you guys, don't you find it strange? Please tell me in the comment, is it a possibility that Fred Hill could be involved with taking Summer Wells? It's weird how the cops seem to really gravitate toward Fred Hill. Not only has he been in jail a lot, but it was said, he said himself that he was a suspect in 2 murder charges. And so it is a good possibility, you guys, that they suspect him in some of this stuff. And I just find it really strange. That house that's down by Fred Hill's, it showed his place. It looks terrible there, He was living in a shack. Like a fallen down metal, weird shack with vehicles all over. And this is what I wanted to say. Fred cannot keep his story straight about his own alibi and about where he was that day, and he keeps trying to push this on Andy, that he's seen Andy that day. Well, that puts Fred there right at that exact same time. And first of all, he says he was home all day, that he never left till 3 or 4 or 5, he says. And then he supposedly went to the junkyard, but he never made it to the junkyard because the junkyard was closed. And he was hauling vehicles off. And I don't know, something in me, some kind of warning trigger is going off within me. I get the creeps, I get feelings about things. And I suspect Fred Hill now. And he's on my suspect list too. Because this is too strange, you guys, that, how involved he really is. And it's not really, it is about him lying. And about him telling stories about where Summer Wells is, or, what happened to her. Yeah. But he's really trying to make other people look bad. And what is the purpose? What is the reason that he wants to make up lies and stories? I just find it strange behavior. And I want to know from you guys if you find it strange behavior. Him and Laura are both strange. But I know I have a lot of followers who just love Ziggy, okay? But I just don't understand now, what if he is a complete suspect and did something to Summer Wells? We really don't know, you guys. We don't know. We don't, I've always believed that it was Don and Candace. But, when I see all these other weirdos around this case, I start to suspect them. And it's really weird that Ziggy's on this bandwagon with Fred trying to make Andy and Jody Sue look like they're guilty. And I told you guys I felt it was strange that the police want him recording Andy and everybody else. Well, and who he talks to. Well, they may very well be recording him because they suspect him. And we do not even know. Yeah, I I find it really strange. I find it weird when people want to be that involved in a missing child case. You know, Summer Wells is going to be missing in just a few weeks. She's going to be missing for 3 whole years and no answers. And I put on my community post that, you know, my heart goes out to Seth. I feel his pain. I feel his hurting in his heart for his son. He's searching for his son desperately. But unfortunately, you know, when you only got so much information, when TBI only has so much information and nothing else, what are they going to inform him on? They can't inform him on anything because they don't have anything to inform him on. What can they tell him that's new if they don't have anything new? And I truly believe that they would come out and give a news report if they had some kind of info or any new leads on Sebastian. And I do think that they would tell Seth, but I just don't think that they have anything, and they only have so many resources. And they did pull out a lot of people and a lot of resources to search for Sebastian. They really did. And they can only do so much. And then it's like almost like a recovery, because somebody hid Sebastian pretty well and somebody hid Summer Wells pretty good. And there's only so much that law enforcement can do. And like Dylan Round's parents, a lot of people's parents have been totally frustrated because the police, it feels like the police don't do enough. And they don't do enough because they really can't do a lot more than what they're doing, I don't think, when they got so many people missing and so many crimes and so many cases that they're investigating. I mean, I feel like they did. They brought out a lot of searchers and drones, and they called a lot of agencies. And now, you know, all they can do is keep hoping for a tip, keep looking into this. But, you know, I seen parents like Dylan Round's parents had to go do a bunch of their own investigating. So, and unfortunately, that is just the way it is sometimes. Don't wait. I'm sorry, but don't wait for the police or the FBI or the TBI or whatever agencies you got in your area. If something happens, do not wait. You get out there and start looking, investigating, asking questions. And Seth, I don't know if you're calling TBI. I don't know if you're calling the investigators on this case, but you should be. You should not be waiting for them to call you. You need to call them and ask them if they have any info and what's happening in the case, and that's what you do. And like Candace, she said, oh, well, they don't call me. They don't say anything. No, it's not up to them. You need to call TBI. And you need to ask them for updates in the investigators if you're upset or if you're concerned. And, you know, I totally get it that you want to go out on the news and you want to, you know, you're frustrated and upset, but I don't know that they will change any kind of investigators or anything like that, because what do you want them to do? They can't pull Sebastian out of a hat. They're not miracle workers, okay? They only got so much information to work with. And, you know, when they get leads, they look into them. You know, like, it's amazing. Like, the last time I heard, I think it was 178 interviews the TBI did with people on Summer Wells' case. That's a lot of interviews. So, and they searched down Candace Wells' house, like, I think it was, I don't know. I think Don said 10 times or something. I don't know. And, you know, they've always been suspect in my eyes, Don and Candace. But it's a good possibility that the problem here is that Candace left Summer alone. And she wasn't watching her. And she was stoned. And somebody took her. took Summer. And, you know, I know they blamed Candace, wanted to put the responsibility on the boys because she told them to watch her. Well, it's a good possibility that Fred Hill could have took Summer Wells and took her right out of there when he was taking stuff to the dump. So, it's just something that I want you to think about. And the reason that he's trying to drag everybody everywhere and blame everybody when he should be looking, people should be looking at him maybe, huh? Seems pretty suspicious. I feel like Jody Sue Brown is covering up something or hiding something, and that she's paranoid, and that's the reason that she's on YouTube. And I feel like Fred Hill wants to create some kind of distraction, get people pulled away from looking at something. So, I don't know, he's kind of suspicious in my mind. So tell me what you think in the comments. You know, I hope they find Summer Wells. It's been a long time. I hope they find Sebastian. I continue to pray. I continue to talk about her. And I'm not going to give up. And Seth Rogers should not give up. And the rest of you should not give up. Don't be discouraged if people ain't putting a lot of videos out about Summer, because it's hard when there's not a lot of information. But I'm trying to go back and look at some things and discuss them with you. But this I found really bugged me. It really did with Fred Hill. So let me know what you think in the comment section. Tell me how you're doing. I love you guys. I thank you for being here. And I hope that you have a good rest of the week and the weekend. And keep praying for these kids, okay? God bless you. Good night. Bye.